Hey, what's going on? This is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. We're gonna have some fun today, as usual. Today we're talking about, is he more motivated than the seller? There's a secondary topic here: is $40,000 enough profit? We're talking about real estate wholesaling, of course. Sorry about this. Just want to make sure I plug up my earphones and stuff here to make sure they're charging while we get to work here for the next few minutes. All right. If you're brand new here and it's your first time here, let's do some house cleaning. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you click on subscribe button. Click the bell right next to the subscribe button to make sure you're notified every time I come on live and every time I upload a brand new video. I haven't uploaded edited videos in a while because we're on a marathon here where we have a big goal here that we have to achieve. And I figure if I come here and hang out and give you that much value every day, then I get what I want, you know? So, excuse me while I set this up, then we can get started on today's episode. Is he more motivated than the seller? So I have a question that I'm going to read to you, and we're going to dissect the answer to it together. All right, so today we'll talk about motivated sellers, finding motivated sellers, um, how to calculate ARVs, and some of the basic stuff about wholesaling real estate that may be a good refresher for you today. My name is All, like I said earlier, I'm the author of Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. If you're brand new here, that's my free gift to you. Just simply go to smartrealestateWholesaling.com and download a copy, free PDF. It's also available in a book like this, but also available as audiobook and Kindle as well too. All right. So with that being said, let me just say this one more time if I haven't said it already, or if I have. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up before you leave this video. If I say anything that makes sense, then just make sure that you click the thumbs up. That way we tell YouTube, the algorithms, that there is value in the video. Okay, that's my plan. So let's get started today. So there's this question that I want us to address together that came in, and I think we can do it together. Okay. So the question is this: Hey guys, I need some advice. Hey, by the way, before we just understand that once we're done with answering this question, and the two main questions, which is he more motivated than the seller, and is $40,000 enough? Once we answer that question, we're gonna dive into some live session. I have some scheduled appointment. I'm gonna call. It's a phone appointment. I'm gonna call, follow up some of these sellers and see if we can get a contract today, right? I think we're gonna be have a lucky day today. Every day is a lucky day because again we're working, right? So every day is a lucky day. Anyway, so the question goes: Hey guys, I need some advice. My partner and I have a deal under contract. It's in a super nice area of Atlanta, great location, big beautiful house, but needs updating as well as a wall demo, a wall demolition, I guess. We have under contract for $510,000, asking $525,000. So they want to make $15,000. Okay, they're asking 525. They have it under contract for 510. The ARV, aka after repair value, is between $650,000 and $680,000. Repairs around $50,000 to $60,000. All my buyers say that it's far overpriced, even though there is a $40,000 to $60,000 plus potential profit to be made on a flip, which is where the second question comes in. Is $40,000 enough profit? A wholesale deal will be the only option since the seller is old and wants to cash out, but won't go for under $500,000. Okay, so if they won't go for under $500,000, then we should have it on a contract for at least 500, right? All right. So I make this mistake sometimes. Okay. So it's not just you. If somebody wants 500, don't give them extra five, anything like that. Just take as much as they give you. So it says just want to know how to approach or those move this. move those, and also how you guys evaluate luxury properties and what kind of profit do buyers typically look for in that kind of price range. Okay, so 525, believe it or not, here in this area in New Jersey, it's not all that much of a luxury, kind of, but not really. Okay, uh, I typically don't. I don't look at it as luxury unless we hit 800, $900,000. 600 is still okay. Okay, it's still not so much luxury, but the truth of the matter is that all of that is not important. Okay, so with that being said, let me dissect this together with you. If I say anything that makes sense, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, but I want to make sure that this question is dissected in a way that you can learn what this is all about. So, for those of you that are brand new, wholesaling real estate simply means the art and science of finding deeply discounted properties and turning them for profit. That's simply what wholesaling is. Okay, so excuse me. Let's see. I had to cough real quick. You find deeply discounted properties. You turn them for profit. This iPhone in the regular market is $1,000, right? I find a place where I can purchase them for $500, right? And then I put it under contract. I sign a contract with the seller saying you want to sell me this house for $500,000. I take that contract, the contract that obliges them. I don't know if that's the right English, but that makes them feel obligated to sell me this property for $500,000, right? I take that contract, I sell it to another person for $50. All right. So they have to pay me. Then I assign that contract to them. They pay me an assignment fee of $50. They pay for the actual property, which is the phone, $500. That's $550 in total. And then they turn around and then they go sell it for $1,000. I made $50 just for finding the deeply discounted property. I assign the deal to an end buyer. That's what wholesaling real estate is. The only difference is instead of a phone, it's a house. All right. So with that being said, the question will be a little bit more clearer to you. So hey guys, I need some advice. My partner and I have a deal under contract. So they have a house, they put it under contract, and it's a super nice area, beautiful home. All of that stuff does not matter when it comes to, if you can't quantify, it's useless information. If everything about that stops at just saying it. If we can quantify the fact that it's in Atlanta, beautiful home, then we care about that, because again, it's all about the number, right? So it says, beautiful home, we don't care, but we kind of care because hopefully, um, as a wholesaler, uh, for a lot of time, the uglier the house is, the better. Okay, a lot of time, not every time. In certain neighborhoods, if the house is dirty, needs work, needs a lot of fixing, the better. Okay, because that's the idea. You have opportunity to add value to the property. Okay, that's where some of the profits will come from. The homeowner, that's how you give value to the homeowner. The homeowner does not want all that work, they want convenience, they just want to get rid of the house, so you get it for discount. All right, so we have under contract for 510, asking 525. All of that numbers does not mean anything to me. There are two pieces of number that I'm looking for, possibly three. But primarily, I like to see the first two, because the third one is subject to the location, and it's a city thing, and it may change from places to places. Anyone who is looking to buy in that city is already aware of what the third number is. But the two numbers is what's going to determine if we have a deal or not. Okay, and I'm going to talk about all about the exception of the rules too, because some gurus are talking about exceptions of the rules that I'm going to remind you here in a second. Okay, the ARV is called the after repair value. The ARV is between 650 and 680. Anytime somebody tells me that, I unless I'm in the mood of selling, if I'm selling, then I will sell that 680, the higher end of the range, right? I'm going to sell the 680. It's the potential, okay? If the higher end of the range is $1 million, I'm going to sell the $1 million, because the comps are saying properties can possibly sell in that area within 1 mile radius of the subject property within the last 6 months. That property, some properties sold for $1 million, right? So I will sell the potential, of course. But when I'm trying to put this under contract and sell it, I have to act both as a seller, both as a buyer and a seller at the same time. I have to understand the mindset of both people, because that's where my money lies, So for this purpose right now that I'm analyzing to see if this is a deal or not, I have to be on the conservative side. So I'm going to go with 650. That's the first number that I need. After repair value is 650. Okay. 680, could that make all the difference? $30,000 over a $600,000 deal? It doesn't make much difference anyway. But I'm going to go with 650 to be on the conservative side. Okay. Repairs around 50 to 60K. Again, if you tell me that property can potentially cost me $60,000 to repair, I'm going to go with the higher end of it because that's a cost to me as a buyer. And again, to determine if this is a deal or not, I have to be on the side of the buyer in this moment in time. So we have two numbers. Those are the first two numbers that I care about. I don't care about how much you have it under contract for. I'm just going to use that as a yardstick to see if it was a deal that you have or not. Right? I don't care about the 510. You have it under contract for 510. For now, I don't care about that number. I care about the 650 and I care about the $60,000 repair. So the formula that we use is very simple formula, and feel free to steal it if you've never heard this before. But it's very simple. It's basically 70% of the after repair value, so $650,000, right? Multiply that by 70%. That's $455,000. I cannot, even if this house was in a perfect condition, as a wholesaler, because this person said it has to be a wholesale. Different topic. We're going to talk about that in a second. If it has to be a wholesale, then no buyer, forget you as a wholesaler for a second, even a buyer who is going to be an investor cannot afford to pay more than $455 for this house because they're going to own the property. They're going to be exposed to liabilities. They're going to be responsible for the taxes, which is the third number that if I'm going to do a little bit more due diligence, I will care about the third number, the taxes, the property taxes. Okay. So, but for now, we're going to deal with the two numbers, 650 and then $60,000. So now I know that I can, if this house was in a perfect condition, I know that I cannot afford to pay more than $455. But it's not in a perfect condition. It needs, per you, it needs $60,000 worth of work. I have to take that out of this work here, right? And that makes I cannot afford to pay more than $395 for this house. Okay, if I want to make $10,000 as a wholesaler, then I have to deduct it from here. So that brings me down to $385. On a $600,000 home, I don't want to make just $10,000. I want to make more. I want to make minimum $20,000, possibly $50,000. Okay, so I would typically want to put this house under contract at $350. Okay, and from the looks of things, you're way off. Okay, and you're probably saying, but why? I mean, there's enough space. Let's continue here. He says we have it under contract for 510. 510 is too far from 395 or 385. If you want to make, well, let's say you want to make your $15,000. So let's take your $15,000 from this. 380. So basically 510 is too far from 380. Okay. And repairs around, okay, all my buyers say it's far overpriced. I mean, that's evident based on what I just shared with you. It's way too overpriced for end buyer who is trying to flip. Okay, even though there is a $40,000 to $60,000 plus potential profit to be made on a flip. Okay, is there a $40,000 to $60,000 to be made on this flip? Let's do the math real quick. So we already know we can't afford to pay more than 380 for this house as a wholesaler, right? We can't afford to go under contract more than 380. If we do anything more than that, you're at the mercies of the market and you're just wasting time for the most part. Sometimes in certain cities, in certain metropolitan areas, they tell you you can do a little bit higher than 70%, right? Maybe. Just know your number and then use that number. But even at that, if I did 80%, right? Let's say I'm doing 85%. Like some cities, some people claim that you can come up to 85%. $650,000, multiply that by 0.85, right? 85%. We end up with $552,000, $500. Let's now, because the price of the repair is the price of the repair. You know, you can't change that, right? It's actually maybe more once you do your due diligence, right? $60,000. Okay, that's $492,000, $500 minus the $15,000 I want to make. That's $477,000. We're still way off from 510. I personally would argue that you should still look for 70%, no matter where you are, especially if you're a newbie. Okay, if you're not marketing properly, of course you look for excuses to squeeze the numbers and squeeze the numbers. There are multiple reasons. I'm going to tell you multiple reasons why you need to be at 70% and why no. There's no 50, $60,000 spread of 40 to $60,000. So where is he getting this 40 to $60,000 from? Let's do the math real quick. Basically, he said he's gonna be able to sell it for 650, right? Right? Minus $60,000 repair, right? Right? And he's trying to sell it for 525, right? Minus 525. All right. So that comes to $65,000. So he's saying that this person is going to make $65,000 profit. What about the percentage on return on their investment? They're about to invest $650,000, right? Possibly plus another 5% of that for closing cost, only to make $65,000. They probably can flip that money a little bit better in other places. That's why it's too small. You have to look at the cost of cash. If they made $65,000 divided by $700,000, no, let's say $675,000 in total cost, right? $675,000. All right, multiply that by 100. That's only 9.62% return on investment. For a fix and flip, it's too small. Okay, that money can get swallowed really quickly. All right, now that's one angle to it. Okay, the other angle to it is that there's a lot more cost than the typical that will come with the fix and flip that we do not factor in. Okay, we do not factor in when we're looking at just you just deduct ARV minus the cost of repair minus cost of acquisition, and then you think they're going to make money. No, there's a lot of cost. There's closing cost, there's holding cost, there's interest that they have to pay on the money, right? Either you borrow or not. Money costs money. Okay. There's a ton of other things. There's transactional fees and stuff like they have to pay points if they're getting the money from a hard money, right? All of these things cost money. Holding cost is extremely expensive. Plus taxes. All right, they're going to owe taxes of at least a quarter to 2 quarters on that property because it's going to take time to finish that work, right? So if the taxes on a $600,000 home within this area that I live here in New Jersey will cost you anywhere from $12 to $15,000 per year. That's a lot of money, okay, that you have to factor in. So no, it's not as simple as just ARV minus repair minus cost of acquisition. No, it's not as simple as that. It's about how you have to look at percentages of return on investment. Okay, the way you looked at it, I'm talking to the person that asked the question. The way this person looked at it is based on a linear curve. 650 minus $60,000 to repair minus 525, they make 65. No, you're looking at it that way. But how much did they have to put on hold to make 65? 65 with reference to what? So that's where the question is 40,000 is $40,000 profit enough? Is $60,000 enough? I don't know. It depends. How much am I investing? That's why you call it return on investment. That's not just returns, it's return on investment with respect to the investment, with respect to how much had to come out of my pocket, with respect to how much of my time was involved, with respect to how much energy and resources I had to put into this to make that kind of money. Is it worth it? That's where you say, is it worth it? Right? So is he more motivated than the seller? It sounds like this person is a lot more motivated than the seller, and that's not the position you ever want to be in. You need to be working with motivated sellers. Okay, if you're motivated to work to serve them. Yes, not motivated particularly on that deal. You have to be in a position where you're willing to walk away and mean it. That's the strongest position of negotiations to ever be in. You have to be willing to walk and mean it. So if somebody insists that they can't afford to sell less than $500,000, I mean, they can't afford to go under contract. They want at least $500,000. It's time to provide them with a different type of solution, okay, and not the wholesale. And no, they can't put you in a headlock and say, hey, you know, take it or leave it. You need to be saying that. Okay, you need to be in a position of saying that. And if you have 3,000 additional leads to call, to send mailings out to, and you're busy marketing and prospecting as you should, then you would never be at the mercy of one person saying yes to you. If they say no to you, it's actually you saying no, because you could say, you know what, I don't have to deal with that. You don't want less than $500,000, but you don't want to. You know, they have to be one. You have to be motivated or want less than $500,000. If you don't have any one of those two, you're basically working with a person that don't need your service. So what I would do in that case, so we mentioned the other thing. The other thing we already mentioned is that percentages is what matters. If you ask me the question, is $40,000 enough profit? Based on what? With regards to what? With respect to what? With respect to what kind of investment? Return on how much investment are we talking? I need a percentage number. As a business owner, you should always be thinking in percentages, okay? Because everything costs something, all right? Everything is with respect to something else. The time I'm spending here with you right now is with respect to other things I could be doing. Is it worth it for me? Yes, I've done the math. It's worth it for me, okay? And sometimes, yes, I would just do it strictly in good faith that, I'm putting out goodwill out into the world. But that's still with respect to that. So when somebody says $40,000 enough, no. Sometimes in your neighborhood you may find investors that will say, I need to make $40,000, $50,000. Well, they may say it that way. That's because they know that they know a certain size of property they're willing to deal with. When somebody says that, they're talking 300 to 350, maybe 250 to $350,000 properties. Okay, so if you do the math, if they make $40,000 on a 350 property, right? They paid 200 for it, right? They paid 200. Let's say they paid 200 for it. They put some work in. They made it some $40,000, right? And they sold it for 300. Let's just say, for example, right? I'm not doing the math all the way. They made $40,000, right? Divide that by 200, right? And multiply that by 100%. They made 20%. So 9%, 20% is two different things. They made more money. Okay. So if they had $10, that money will go further with 20% at the back of their mind. Right. It doesn't matter the actual number. What matters is the percentage on return on investment. Okay. So when you tell me it's $40,000 enough profit, what do you mean? How much did I have to invest to make $40,000? And you should always be thinking that way. Now, if in your neighborhood it's not 70%, it's 85%, that's because somebody is still calculating that number. Okay. And you should know what that number is. And of course, the number should always be under 100%, right? For the most part, as a newbie, focused on 70%. Focus on that. And if the number is a little bit stretched out, if in this guy's neighborhood they could do 85% or 90%, the sellers would not be saying it's too overpriced. The reason why the sellers keep saying it's overpriced is because in that area, chances are he needs to be around 70%. My preference number is 65%. That's what I learned back in 2004. But 70% is a lot more popular and it's acceptable. It's okay because people that use 70%, they after that would deduct how much they want to make. Okay, so 70% of 650 is what was it, 455, right? 455 minus $60,000 is 395. Now minus how much they want to make, minus the $15,000 gives us 380, right? I like 65. I like to make 5% of whatever the ARV is. So, for example, so that automatically put my number in there. So if I go, this house is worth 650 after, right? Multiply that by 5%. I want to make $32,000 on this deal. Okay, of course that can change. That can be anywhere. It could be $30,000. I would like to make $30,000 minimum on this deal, possibly more. Okay, so those two numbers has to be on point. ARV, the repair estimate, ARV multiplied by 70% minus the repair estimate. Stick to that and negotiate from that standpoint. Okay. If you're a wholesaler, use 65% instead of 70%. Just use 65% and start your negotiations from there. If you make $3,000, good. If you make 10, good. If you make $20,000, good. That's basically return on investment of infinity because you probably have to invest very low, very low amount of money, overhead cost, right? Or marketing cost, right? So, but yeah, it's doable. All right. So that's the answer to the question. Hopefully that was good. All right. So now, all right. So now let's get into today's follow-ups. We got a few follow-up calls to make, and again, this is a good time to stick around so you can see how I have these conversations. Let's see here. All right. Awesome. So don't forget, I have a free book for you. Go to smartrealestatewholesaling.com to get it if you're brand new here. Um, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share the video with people you know will, will benefit from it. Um, and let's have some fun. All right. So the first person on, let me just refresh. So you won't be able to see my screen because I have sensitive information on the screen. All right. I do. We're gonna go with the fresh appointment first. Let's see here. Awesome. So some of these are scheduled for tomorrow, but we're just gonna call them. All right. So we have Richard Ford. Richard wants to hear the offer. He'll be available tomorrow, 6 p.m. Number to contact. All right. Let's just go ahead and call him right now and see what he wants. All right, so it's a small property that's worth $153,000. No pickups. There are some other lines I could try. Small house. Let's go for it. Uh, 5303. No answer there too. Let's try the. Looks like a out of state owner. All right. Not ringing. Not ringing. All right. Let's try the fourth number. So he sees the house in good condition. Anytime, it doesn't matter if the price is good. Richard is not staying to the property. He's just visiting the property sometimes. He wants to discuss offer first. All right, another leave a message. Let me try that line that didn't ring one more time, and then we'll move on to the next record. Okay, it's ringing. Bad number. All right, so it's good to know. We got three good numbers. We'll try again tomorrow. Let's try the next person. Let's try to call Darlene. No questions answered should be answered, but he will sell his property. You can call at 9 a.m. Uh, did not want to answer any question. Basically, let's try. I like to believe I can handle anyone. Sometimes they just want to speak to the right people. Our VAs at this moment are just pre-qualifying, making sure the good enough phone numbers, making sure that they own the property, the person that picks up, making sure they're open. Yes, hi. May I speak? Yes, hi. I'm looking to speak to Darling or Christopher.
This is Christopher speaking.
How you doing? I think you spoke to my assistant possibly earlier today about your
Yes, sir.
prop property in South Orange.
Yes.
Good, good. You open to selling?
Yes, I am open to selling. Yes.
Oh, okay. Why do you want to sell?
I have a tenant now. The tenant is not paying, and then I actually moved somewhere else instead of New Jersey. I moved somewhere else instead of New Jersey.
Oh,
So that's what.
oh, you did. Oh, okay. How many
Yeah.
bedroom? How many bedrooms is this house?
There's a 5 bedroom, and then there's an attic, a finished attic that can be considered as a bedroom.
Okay. How many bathrooms?
Three full bathroom and two half.
And two half. Okay. You said you moved to South Jersey. Is that what you said?
No, I moved to the area. I live in the city right now with my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. You live in the city. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Do you have any idea of what you think the property is worth?
The property is worth literally a little bit above $1 million, but for the time being, it's using zero 980 about, but it's worth more than that.
Absolutely, I can understand. Now, it doesn't need any kind of repair.
There is a tenant there. The tenant will be the lease will expire in March 2020.
By March 2020. How much is tenant paying per month?
The tenant is paying $6,200 now for rent.
$6,200. Now you said tenant is not paying. Is that what you said? They're not up to date.
Well, there was an issue with the lease, and now that's being resolved because the company is paying for it right now.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so what do you want for? Do you have any idea what you want for the property?
I think if there is some type of agreement on the sale, if somebody offer me 975, 950, and then I'll pay my debt and walk away, I'll be okay with that.
Gotcha. Have you considered trying to list it on the market ever?
I'm sorry, have I considered putting it in the market?
Mm-hmm. With an agent.
Maybe, well, I have tons of agents. This is not the first time I've done that. I
Okay.
have tons of agents that I work with. So if you're an agent, don't waste your time.
I'm not an agent. I have two.
Okay.
Well, that's one of the options that I provide. Okay. I'm just gonna give you two offers right now to see
Okay.
to see if we can do business together. I'm a private investor, so I look to I buy properties so I can make profit. That's but also within the confinement of making sure that you're happy. Um, the property is coming back at yes, based on square footage, are 1.163. Because it's a bigger house than the comparables I see right now in the last 6 months. But the average sold price is at around $917,000. So
Yep. I'm aware of it.
if it's listed on the market, you can with time, then you can potentially do at the minimum 917, and potentially 1.1, But as a cash offer from me as an investor, if it's a situation that you feel like you don't mind getting out of, then I can bring some speed and convenience to the table if that's what you want, you know. And that's what this offer that I'm about to give you is about. So you can just understand where I'm coming from with that. Okay. All right. My number is coming back at this is all cash close in 7 to 10 days. My number is coming back at $650,000. All right. So he hung up. All right. So and that's okay. He hung up. I could tell that he wasn't probably going to be a deal. That's all right. Let's see. Hold on 1 second, okay? Actually, I don't mind having this conversation here right now. Hey, Bob, what's up?
Okay, so I'm gonna merge the call. I gotta answer another line, okay?
Okay, sure.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, hold on, how are you?
Hi, Astrid. How are you?
I just wanted to ask, okay, so I just want to get clear so we can make sure that we communicate properly with lender.
Okay.
So the question is, the whole deal, the double closing, which means that one lender is funding both sides of the transaction happening at the same time, correct?
Yes.
That being said, the total amount of this deal, give me the amount. I know that that's to be $85,000. That's what Larry is going to be funding, which is the funder, the lender.
Yes.
So my question to you guys is, how much is the first closing? I just want to make sure it's total 85. How much is the first closing?
The first is going to be 35. That's the reason why I sent you addendum. The,
The second closing is how much?
the second is 85.
Now that's more than 85,000. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's $112,000.
Oh, you thought, well, there's two different transactions, right?
Right. We're saying the total is 80. The second one must be 50, right? Just naturally. What I'm saying.
No. There are two transactions for the double closing. Before, it was 50 and 85, right? The,
No,
for, the
before it was 35. Yeah, but the total amount of the purchase price is not 112.
no, it's not. No, the purchase. So there are two transactions. We're clear on that, right?
So we're on three payments.
Was that?
I said we're on three payments transaction. What's the total purchase price on both sides total together? That's what I want to know.
Oh, on both sides total together would be that would be 85 plus 85 plus 35. How much is that? 120.
Hey, that's your 120. That was your recollection of it, right, Dave? No, because hold on. The total price I was paying for the purchase of this property is 85. It's not 120. It's 85,000.
That is the way he asked me. So for Dave's side of the transaction, or the way she asked me, sorry about that. The side of Dave of that transaction is $85,000. That's it. That's what the lender is bringing to the table, and that's it. The lender is not touching the second transaction.
An answer is wondering how can that be? Because according to her, I'm funding the whole thing. So that
No.
has to touch the transaction.
No. You're not funding the whole thing. No, you're not.
Listen, hold on.
Mhm.
There's one title company. It's only this company that's doing both transactions. We're clear on that, right? That's already happening. That's why they're running title on both sides. The reason why we're doing a double closing is to avoid having your closing that's not going to be simultaneous, have a need, and we have to wait to be recorded. So that's why we're doing a double closing. So the double closing also implies that there's one funding.
Yes.
The purchase price of this deal has always been 85,000. Never been 120,000. It's been
Yes,
50 on
it
one side,
stays.
35 on the other. Wait. 50 contract, 35 assignment fee. That's 85,000 total. There's never been 120. I've never even seen that. That's the first time I'm hearing from it. So I just want to get that clear because that's on paper. I'm not even going to dispute that.
Right. So my answer to that is that you're absolutely correct. It stays 85.
Okay.
All right. So now I have a question though. Where did the 120 thing came from? Who brought that up?
I think we just got confused. Don't even worry about it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right, let's move on. So then if everything is 85, what I'm trying to tell you is that on one side, it would be 50, which that's the contract price. It was always the contract price, which would be whole lot today paying you 50. But also on your side, when you're purchasing it from Hamad, you're purchasing it for 35,000, or it could be the other way around.
All right. So Ola, sorry to cut you off. Ola, which is ST Investors, is purchasing from a man for 35.
Let me ask you a question. How are you paying?
Cash. That's all cash.
You're gonna fund that, or give me
Yes, just give me 48 to 72 hours. Let me know, and then we'll get that into the wire. We'll wire that in. Okay, that's the first part of the transaction.
So that's the part she was missing on. She thought that that was gonna come from my side of funding, so I think that's the part she didn't catch.
I was suspecting as much, but yeah, that's the first transaction.
How are you funding? Hold on. How are you funding the first transaction? I assume double posting lender.
No, the lender would never agree to that. They would never agree.
Exactly, and that's what her problem was. I'm saying that's the double closing. That's why it's simultaneous. So you're saying
Yeah.
you're having two different deals going on at the same time. That makes it different because are you having your own title company do that one?
The title company, is it Clear Skies that's doing this?
Yeah, our title
Clear,
company.
clear,
Everything.
clear skies understand what a double closing is, and they will be they will understand that process more.
No. Clear guys. No. Our title company, the attorneys, we already chose the title company. They run title on both sides. They're doing both sides of the transaction. We're not using a different title company.
I understand. I looked at the document you sent earlier. It says Clear Skies. Is that the company?
I think it's exactly title.
Oh, okay. Wherever the title company is, they.
Hold on, let me just get these concrete details up to it. Now, are you saying that you're funding you're saying the $35,000 that's coming from your own funding source? That's why you're
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what
Yes.
what you said.
Yes. That has to be funded separately. That has nothing to do with the Hoover. Mm-hmm.
I got it. And the way you're getting it back, I think there's a simpler way to do it, Ola. That's why we're so stuck. That's right. That's the way they want it done. Let them do it like that. That's the way they want to send it. That's okay. But then, with that being said, on the other side, are we now? I understand why Ola, because you need to get your $35,000 back. So now it would be 55, right? Exactly. All right. All right. Let me talk the title. I just needed to understand it because usually in a double closing, one person funds both sides. That's why we do it. Oh, that's what they said was confusing.
Well, it can't be that way. It's whatever the title company you've chosen is comfortable with. We just need clear communication on that, and then we'll work with that.
I think we're good. Now. All right. I'm going to update title and then we're fine. I just needed to get that out of the way. That's fine.
Now, the one thing I want to make sure we're clear on is that the first transaction is 35 sales price. All right. Okay.
Where you're going to wire the funds from your own funding, basically. You're going to fund it. I took the title to our title company so that they can finish that off for you.
I just need I need 72 hours heads up on that, just so you guys know, okay?
Okay. No problem.
All right.
Thank you guys. Sorry about the confusion. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. All right, that was an important call I had to take. I figure you guys can learn from it too. All right, so it's a double closing situation, blah blah blah. Property we pick up for $35,000, selling it for 85. Lawyers sometimes that are not too familiar with investment transactions, they ask all these questions, and just be patient and answer as much as you can. Okay, so anyway, this guy right here is not interested. We're gonna call it not interested. He already mentioned not wasting time. Some people will be more patient. No big deal. We'll keep it moving, right? Um, this person in Long Branch, New Jersey, South Jersey, towards the shore. Let's call this person. Albert's interested to sell. Call tomorrow. Need a lot of work. I like it. If the price is pretty right, I like it. No one living in the property, even better. Discuss the offer first. Okay, let's talk about the offer. Now, let me take a look at. Let's take a look here. All right. All right. So his property is worth 239. Let's see what he has to say. Property is definitely vacant. By the way, the guy that just hung up, his property is in foreclosure, but we don't bring that up, of course, because if you bring that up, people their fence goes up like crazy. So don't bring that up ever. All right, so let's call this person. Now, that lawyer thought that the total transaction is going to be 80 plus 35. 85 plus 35. That's 120. Like, of course not. There's one transaction for 35. The second transaction is 85. If you don't know what double closing is, we'll do another video entirely on that, on how that works. Let's see here. All right, no pickup. Let's try the other lines. Fifteen. Bad number. That's a bad number. We can delete that off the record. Let's try another line. 6185.
Hi, this is Jason Chandler. You reached my telephone voicemail. Please leave me a message after the
I sound like the wrong person, but it's a good number. We'll leave it there just in case. Uh, and I want to. So the only numbers I delete is the one that someone outrightly tells me that is the wrong number, or that's sounding like this. That's a bad number, or a number that sits on a bad number, right? All right. So this person did not pick up. We're gonna try to call again tomorrow, or when we get to it. Let's set up a follow up for tomorrow. All right. Let's see. Frederick interested to sell. Call this number. Good condition, independent the offer. Want to hear and discuss offer first. He wants to talk to me. Let's see. I wonder what kind of property this is. It's a concourse. Interesting. Street view. Okay. Vacant. Okay. Let's see what he wants. Property is worth 230. Let's see what he wants. Yes, I may I speak to Frederick.
Yes, speaking.
How you doing? This is Ola. You spoke to my assistant about your property in Keyport.
Oh, yes, how are you?
Very good. Did I catch you at a good time?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Good, good. What do you want for this house?
Oh, I'm not really selling, but I figured if you guys are going to give me an offer, I would, definitely think about it.
Oh, okay. Is vacant right now. Why is it vacant?
No, it's not vacant. There's somebody there.
Oh, there's like a tenant?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm an investor, and
Oh, you're an investor, okay.
Yeah. How much is it bringing in on rent every month?
2,000.
$2,000. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And let me see if I can give you an offer real quick. Do you have any idea of what the property is worth in this market?
I'm assuming it's got to be around 270,
270.
280.
Okay. The first number that got spitted at me is 230, but let me dig a little deeper, okay? Uh
Yeah.
let's see here. Keyport, New Jersey. How far is it from the shore?
From the shore,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure to be honest with
You're
you.
not too sure, but is it on a flood zone by any chance?
No, no flood zone now.
No flood zone. Okay. All right. The fair number, the average sold price in the last 6 months in that area is 252 in the last six
Okay.
months. All right, within 1 mile radius. Okay.
Okay.
Now here goes my offer. Remember, I'm an investor, so sounds like you don't really need to sell, but at least you can have the number handy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Um, it doesn't need any major work, does it?
Oh no, just got fully renovated.
Or fully net renovated? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Did you do the work?
No, no, company did the work.
No, I said like you hired a company that did the work.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. My offer on that house would be drum roll. Let's see here. We're looking at. Let's see. We're looking at $140,000, all cash.
Cash. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hold off now, but I appreciate it.
Okay, and you're not looking to sell. You said right.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
All right, that's fair. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, well, thank you.
All right. Bye. All right. So he doesn't seem like you need to sell. Very minimum. Sometimes people you end up just educating them, and you go off of energy a lot. I keep telling you that. That's why I say it's a art and a science. It's not always a science. So sometimes just based off of you can feel the energy, the vibe, and you've seen some of the contract that I've able to put out here on some of the previous videos. Um, it just feels right. So just don't forget that. So we're gonna say not interested, not yet interested. We're gonna keep it moving. It stays on our record, by the way. We may call him in the nearest future. Uh, let's go on to the next person here. All right, this person left a voicemail. Oh, sounds like they may have something. Let's see. So it's gonna be the first. They left a voicemail because they missed a call from us before, but they left a voicemail with the property address. So anytime somebody leaves a voicemail with a property address and say call them back, they may be motivated. I try to call them back, okay? And they claim that we spoke to the husband and she's Jennifer, and left a phone number, a good phone number to call back. Not the number that we had. She gave us the new phone number on the voicemail because it shows on the call ID. Plus, she said it in the voicemail. It literally says, "Hi, my name is Jennifer." With her last name, I can't pronounce that. I believe you just called my other number. My husband answered gradual about our property at 123 Main Street, Hackensack, New Jersey. Please give me a call back. My number is blah blah blah. Thank you. Bye. So she's interested in talking about the property. Let's give it a shot. Okay. And it's the last appointment that I have set for today. Then we'll go on to follow ups. Okay, and see if we can follow up on a few people.
Hello,
Yes, I speak to Jennifer, please.
this is Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. You left me a voicemail earlier about your property at.
What happened was that you guys called my husband and asked if we sold the property yet. So I
Mhm.
don't know how you guys got our number. If the house is actually under my father's name, my father, my mother.
Mhm.
So I was just curious as to how you got our information.
Oh, I can share that with you. So you're not looking to sell the property?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well, we're private investors, and we do this for a living. So as part of our marketing and prospecting activities, we do find the numbers. I don't know exactly. If you tell me to ask you to tell you exactly how the machines find them, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So nothing's going on. No, I was just worried. I thought something else was going on with the property that, you guys are
Yeah.
interested in me selling or,
Right.
or
How's the property right now? Is it vacant?
no. My father actually he's living there and he's actually trying to do a remodification. So
Oh, okay. I think that's something that is showing on the record here. Is that
yeah.
working out well?
Yeah, I think so. He's working with a lawyer on it. So
Okay.
I think it's going good.
Okay. Well, if you need anything with regards to real estate, feel free to call this number back anytime. Do you live in the state?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
All right. So nothing there. Never know. She was just curious to see how we find the numbers. Never feel obligated to tell people how you find numbers. Just tell them you have machines and you don't know exactly how. That's all. Um, they understand what that is. It's technology age, so don't ever bother about that. All right. So that's a bad lead. But at least we have a number. It's future. All right. Let's see. I think. All right. Let's go do some. Let's see if I have any task. I do have a task here. Okay. All right. So let's go see if there's any follow-ups. All right. We do have some follow-ups. Hmm. We do have some follow-ups. Let's see here. And the follow-ups, you say no futures. All right. So why don't we just go ahead and make some follow-up calls? Okay. Um. All right. We're gonna call Nathaniel. He wants to talk to you about the property. Okay. Let's see. Great condition. It's probably a bad candidate, but if they want to sell, we can make them a listing prospect, even if it's in great condition. All right. So let's give it a shot. All right. Ringing, ringing, ringing. Just ringing.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
All right. So that's the second follow up. We're gonna schedule a third one. Man. Let's see. No answer. All right. Let's try another one. We have a second follow up here. Yeah, for Chester. We're still trying to call Chester. But somebody that I called somebody yesterday was the third follow up, and we get them off our list. And then they reply with a voicemail. They're doing some research and they will send the contract in as soon as they're done. I said, okay, thank you. Pipeline. Remember, keep that mindset of pipeline always. This is a person that owns two homes. We sent a contract to. We haven't heard from him. So we don't know. We'll see. All right. So we're gonna set up no answer. We're gonna set up the third follow up. Let's go on to the next. It's a third follow up. Let's go on to the next. Okay, let's call Dorilla, see if she has the keys. She's supposed to get keys and allow us to do inspection. And we just keep following up until it drops off. Okay, that's a voicemail. So I'm gonna say no answer, and we're gonna set up a. Just gonna set up a third caller follow up. And always remember you are always managing resources. So um yeah, always keep that in mind. You're managing resources. You could be using time spent on this on the other thing that's more profitable. Just keep that at the back of your mind as well too. So I set up a third follow up for this person. That way I know after tomorrow's call, if there's no answers, we're gonna leave voicemails everywhere we can leave a voicemail and keep it moving. Drop them off our radar for now. Let's see here. 802. 3. Oh, it's a third follow up. All right. No, I'm not sure. This guy right here, he wants me to change the PO box on the contract to a physical address before he can sign. You know what that tells me? With in addition to all the other experience I've had with him, um, he's like he asks questions, is acting like he's interviewing me as opposed to the other way around. Maybe I've lost control of the conversation. Who knows? But bottom line is, he's not motivated. So we're gonna say not motivated because we have other things we could be spending our time on, like calling other people. Okay, and we're gonna drop it off our radar, basically. No time. All right. So let's call this one. We're gonna follow up on this person. We sent a contract out. See. Now, the beautiful thing about the tool that we use to send our contract out to is it does its own reminder. So if somebody doesn't sign the contract, it just does its own reminder until they unsubscribe from that. So we have multiple channels of following up with people and all of that. Let's see if we can get Billy to pick up here.
Hi, you reached Smith. Please leave your name and number.
All right. Let's set Billy up for last follow up on tomorrow. With a clean slate. There you go. Oh, I need to put that on tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay, on this one right here, let's due for a follow up. It's a 10 acre.
Hello.
Hi, Chris. This is Ola. How are you?
Hello, how you doing?
Very good, very good. Following up on the contract. Did you get it? Did you get the contract?
What was that now?
The contract for we spoke on your property, Valley Road, Baskin Ridge last week.
Yes. I didn't get a contract. No.
I sent it to CNC Construction at Oh, I didn't get it. The
Okay,
plans?
yeah.
You sent me the plans?
I was gonna send you the plan. If you give me, did you send me your email?
I'm not sure. I think I was hoping that you got the contract. That way you could just reply to it.
No,
So
I didn't.
you
So,
didn't. I'm gonna send it right now, right away. So
okay,
so once you have that, just reply to it with everything you got.
okay, good.
All right, thank you, man. You know what? Maybe you haven't heard a single one of that conversation. I don't know. I'm not sure. Uh, let's see here. All right. So this person want me to send in. Let's see. I don't know how far of this you heard or you didn't hear. I'm not sure, but that was an interesting conversation to say the least. It was basically mostly value talk. A guy who owned a business for 50 years, blah blah blah, all the stuff. But I'll send him a report. Basically, uh, send him a comps report. Send in comps and contract. I'm gonna send him a contract. I'll set a contract at probably. I'll do the math. A little bit more than $103,000, and then we take it from there. So let me put that on my task for the rest of the day. Hi. All right. So I'm gonna send him. This guy seems like a numbers guy. I'm gonna send him some details to see if he wants to go under contract with me. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. At the very minimum, I educate people. They have my contact. They may call me for other deals in the future. Never know. Never know. Never know. So that was a good one. So I have some tasks to take care of for the rest of the day. He end up on my task list. All right. So hopefully that was good stuff for you. Hopefully enlightened, educated. Um, Let me know if you enjoy that by simply giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget smartrealestatewholesaling.com. Click like, click share, comment below if you have any questions. We'll be back here at the same time tomorrow, 2 p.m. to have some fun. That was a good conversation. I really wish you heard all of it. I'm not sure how far I went before we got muted out. I'm not sure. But oh well, it happens. We talk soon. Peace.